Alright, a new NBA season is right around the corner, so for history's sake, I thought I'd share my top 10 NBA players as of right now, August 21, 2021. First, some perspective. I'm very much a postseason guy when it comes to ranking the best players. AKA, this list will be a mix of who I predict to be the best players in the 2022 postseason and who I believe are the players that you want on your team if your goal is to win a title this year. So, spoiler alert, Russell Westbrook is not on this list. I've also broken down this list into 4 tiers. The tiers are ranked, but the players within them are not. And so you can sort the players within the tiers however you want, and I won't have any qualms. Now, finally, before I run through the list, I just want to acknowledge that this video won't break down film or analytics justifying why a player is in a certain tier. This is rather a video just to state which players are in which tiers in my perspective. Now, if in the comments you want me to justify a player's position, I'd be happy to in a separate video or in just a reply based on your comment, I don't know. So with all that out of the way, let's jump in. The lowest tier I have includes players 9 and 10 in my top 10. This is what I'm calling the needs a Superman tier. Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid are the two players that live in this tier. So why is it called the Needs a Superman team? That's because both these players are elite at what they do and their skill sets are amazing for the playoffs. However, to be a true title threat, their team will need another player alongside them that is higher than them on this list. So if Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid has a player that's 7 through 1 on this list, then their team is automatically a title threat. They are Batman in their own right, but to be true favorites, they need a Superman, not just a Robin. Now, if they do have that, depending on the season, they will automatically become title favorites. Okay, moving on to the next tier, the just needs a Robin tier, aka players 8 through 6. In this tier, I have Jokic, Harden, and Luka Doncic. Now, in this tier are players that I believe just need another player that's maybe in the top 10, maybe in the top 25 on their team for their team to become true title threats immediately. They can be the number one guy just fine and be a playoff contender, but they do need at least a Robin to elevate their team's level to that of title threats. They aren't as dependent on needing a player on their same level or better like the previous tier list. They just need some all-star level help, true all-star level help. The best example of this is Jokic. Jokic is not a threat to win the title right now, but if Jamal Murray is healthy, then the Nuggets definitely have a chance at the title this year. The same goes for Luka and Harden. And don't tell me Porzingis is all-star level help. Okay, moving on to the second highest tier in my top 10, the always a title threat tier. In this tier, I have two players, Giannis and Steph Curry. If a player in this tier is on a team that's in the playoffs, then that team is automatically a threat to win the title. Both Steph Curry and Giannis are the best at their positions, and what they bring to the table is extremely useful for the playoffs. The team with these players may or may not be title favorites at the start of the playoffs, but they are always threats, and no one's going to be surprised if they win it all without another superstar. And now the final tier, what I call the always title favorites tier. The three players in this tier pass a few tests that come up in the playoffs. First, the undeniability test. Is what the player does close to impossible to effectively counter? For example, no one is going to be denying Kevin Durant from taking the shots he wants to, and from there it's just about if the shot goes in or not. The second test is the him alone test, aka if you have just this player and the team with only replacement level players, are they still a threat to win the title? Take LeBron as the example in this case and all his runs in Cleveland. Finally, elite two-way versatility test. Does this player have the ability to dominate on both ends of the court against a myriad of schemes and situations? Because at the end of the day, that's really what the playoff is testing. And Kawhi is probably the best and most ideal archetype of that player. So, to summarize, my top 10 NBA players as of August 2021 are Kevin Durant, Kawhi, and LeBron in the first tier, then Steph and Giannis in the second tier, which rounds out my top 5. After that, it's Jokic, Harden, and Luka in the third tier. And finally, the fourth tier that rounds out my top 10 is Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid. So as I said before, comment below if you'd like me to discuss why one specific player should be in a specific tier, or why someone should move up or down, and I'd be happy to respond or make another video explaining myself with actual evidence.
Dare you! I double dare you, motherfucker!